welcome to our GrinchMas video. We love to do GrinchMas every year, and it's just going to be a little different this year. As you see, we've got our buddy right here. We're going to read the book, but first we're going to make, can you guess? Rice Krispie treats that are green. We're going to use this food coloring to make them green. And what we're going to do is make hearts, because the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes. So we're going to make a heart, and we're going to take some red icing and make a tiny heart in the middle. Anyway, you will need to have an adult's help with this cooking. So I'm going to let you know a few things. You can go ahead and put it on pause if you want to try to cook along with me, or you can come back to this video one day after you've been to the grocery store and you get these items. But if you don't want to cook along with the video, you can come and pick up a kit, which also has some ornaments that you can make, some Grinchy ornaments, and a lot of coloring pages and brain teasers, and you'll get this recipe. I told you everything you need and how to do it. This is a very easy recipe, and it's very yummy. So if you get the make and take kit, you will have a recipe. But we are going to try to cook along and just give you a little demonstration. We're going to think about things. Now, when I'm going to cook, I like to pin my hair back, and this hat helps a lot. And I like to wear sleeves that are kind of short, unless it's summer, then they can be all the way short. And if I'm giving something to my family or friends, I like to go ahead and wear my mask. So I'm going to grab mine, because I'm going to give this to my library friends. So, first thing we're going to do, we've had this warming up for a little while, so we will turn this just a little bit down. I'm not too sure how this cooktop works. This is a new cooktop. Well, before we put it on there, what we'll do is, this is your butter. You'll need that first. Second, you'll need a pack of marshmallows, 10 ounces. Third, you will need pure vanilla extract. That's a secret ingredient. You don't have to put that in there if you don't want. And you will need green food coloring to make it like a Grinchy heart. And you will need a lot of utensils. You'll need a measuring cup. You will need a spatula like this, a regular rubber one that you can spread with. You'll need some cookie sheets. I'm using these because I'm going to put them in here when I'm done. You will need some measuring spoons just to measure a little bit of vanilla into there, because you like that. And you'll need a butter knife to cut this butter. And you will need, of course, a nice spoon that you can stir it up with. So, we know what we need, and that will be in the kit if you couldn't follow that along, because I know it was kind of fast. And you will need wax paper. If you don't know what that is, your mom probably does, and she's going to help you. This is a kind of wax paper, Reynolds. So you'll need that. That's what's on here, ready to go for after we get done cooking. All right. And you'll also want to make sure that you have somewhere to wipe your hands. So we're going to move this over here and keep this nearby. Okay, so now this is your butter. This is a small half stick of butter. And if you look at the butter, I'm going to come around and show you. If you look at the butter, it tells you about the tablespoons. So this is a 4 tablespoon stick of butter. So if you cut that off, what do you have? Yes, 3 tablespoons. So that's our first part of the recipe. The first thing we have to do is put this butter in there and let it melt a little bit. So we're going to open it up just halfway, and then we're going to find that little line and cut that right like that, and then plop it down in there. Plop. Okay, so we'll put this to the side, wipe our hands a little bit, and we will put this over here as well. That's a buttery knife. So now we can go ahead and put this on the cooktop. Set medium heat. I did mine a little less because I'm not sure about this cooktop. Now you can see it's already melting. It's already melted to the side of the pan. So what I'm going to do is kind of roll it around the edges so that when we put the marshmallows in, they won't stick very much to the pan. I think this is really working out good. Although now if butter starts to burn, it's not a good thing. So we're going to lift it up a little bit like this. It's okay if you have to do that. Just be real careful of the stove. And you can just stir it around. It's kind of fun to stir around the butter. And remember to kind of push it up onto the sides. And you want to make sure this is salted butter. And it's best to use real butter, not margarine, because it tastes so good. So we keep it on. Melting this butter. Now we're going to let it stay on the bottom and cook the rest of the way. We've got a good edge covering. Now, can you see? Yeah, we've got a little bit of butter in there. You don't need a lot. And when you put that on your spoon, you're going to have to kind of get it off of there. So now we'll put this here for right now. And the next thing, let's turn this over here for a minute. You might want to take it off if it's going to take you a few minutes, because you don't want your butter to burn. So now we've got our marshmallows. Now what we're going to do, it calls for 4 cups of miniature marshmallows. So what we're going to do, we're going to measure them. Now this is a 2-cup measuring cup. So you're probably thinking, if it's 2 cups, how many do I need to make 4? Did you think of it? Right. 2 times 2 is 4. So we've got 2 cups here. And we can go ahead and stick it in there. Just get our spoon ready. It had a little time to cool off, so that's okay. And then we'll hurriedly make our second 2 cups if we want to get it back on the road. Now, so we've put them all in. Now this is the fun part. You've got to stir. Let that butter get all over your marshmallows. Kind of stir it around. You should have some buttery marshmallows like this. I'm going to turn it down a little because it's trying to stick. Now, you want to clean up after this straight away because it gets really sticky. You know how sticky marshmallows are when you make s'mores and stuff. So imagine if you're melting these into this big pot. So we're going to keep on melting. And it takes a little while, but that's okay. So let's think ahead. Now we're going to need 6 cups of the Rice Krispies. So does anybody know how many of these we would need if there are 2 cups in that big measuring cup? Yeah, think about it now. We need 6 cups, and each measuring cup holds 2 cups. Right, we need 3 of those measuring cups. Y'all are really good. I know you can do this. Now this is starting to melt. Turn it up just a little bit. This is a special cooktop that they bought for us to do these type of things. And I'm not really sure about the mediums. Medium would be 2.5. So that's what I've got it on. It's trying to work. It just seems like it's really taking a long time. So I turned it up a little. But you should be able to use medium heat on your stove. That should be right in the middle. Yes, it's really starting to melt. I think we did need to turn it up a little. All right. So it's melting. While it's going on, I'm going to pour 2 of those cups of Rice Krispies. We're making Rice Krispie treats. So then we gotta come back and stir some more. Maybe stir real fast. Now I can smell the butter. You'll smell that butter cooking and it will smell so good. Makes it a little caramelly too in the bottom because that butter wants to burn right to the bottom sometimes. But that's okay. You can always let it soak and clean it up real good. So it's still melting. Stir it a little bit faster. See if that helps. It is helping. So, if you are still stirring your marshmallows like me, or if you're done, you can just, go ahead and think about your next step. Your next step is going to be the vanilla. I'm going to take this to the side again. Be real careful with my spoon. Let's hold on to that. So then we've got our secret ingredient. Now I hope you had a longer handle on your spoon. So here we've got be very careful. There we go. We've got that right there. Now that is your secret recipe, secret ingredient that really makes it taste good. You've got your real butter, and then you've got your vanilla. Both of those, and that's pure vanilla extract. It's going to make it super good. But you want to mix it around real well. Now, these are all pretty much melted, and it's not too much. And then our next step is our green food coloring, so that it can be like the Grinch's heart. So we're going to put about 4 little drops of this. Now this is a gel food coloring, so it may be a little different than actual food coloring. So it looks like it's mixing up pretty good. You want to spin all around the edges when you stir this. Mix it all the way up. Some wants to be darker than others. It's just, we want to kind of speed it up because we don't want this to get sticky to the bottom. So it looks pretty good. Our green marshmallows. Okay, so we're going to put them to the side on a cooler cooktop, and we're going to turn this off. And be really careful if you have to do it side by side like this. Now I'm just going to put one in, which is 2 cups. Stir that in real good. You got to go fast with this because it tends to harden up. So then we're going to put our other 2. One thing that would be a good idea is to measure out your 6 cups right before you start. Measure it and put them in another bowl. That would have been a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that until just now. It's always good to have everything handy and ready before you start cooking. You want to set it out, lay it out, know where everything is. Makes it much more enjoyable. Now we just need 1 more. This is cups 5 and 6. And then put that in. I'm going to put it on this because this is a little warm. We don't want the cookie to cook, but we want it to stay pliable. You try not to do this though. It should be okay. You might have to dig way down in the bottom. Really stir it up real good. Stir it really well. I'm going to take it off of this fire. Stir it some more. See, it's turning a little green. If you're working along, I hope it's going well. If you have to skip this video, the next thing we're going to do is read the Grinch. So if you want to skip this because you're not making it right now, you can. Even though we're almost done. Yeah, now these are not too green. You can tell that means there's more marshmallow stuff down in the bottom. So you pull it up off that bottom edge and mix it some more. And it'll look a little weird, like real stringy marshmallows, but that's okay. That's quite all right. That's how they stick together and make treats. Okay, well ours is not that green, but he is pretty much of a light green, so maybe it'll be okay. Maybe we should put more food coloring in. I don't know. I kind of wonder if we needed a little more marshmallows. Who knows? Your hand might get tired of spinning and stirring. Mine did. It's a lot of stirring. Okay. I think we've got it the best we can. Make sure that is all. And here's what it looks like. So first off, We're gonna hold this real carefully. Get help with this because you don't want this falling and burning your hand. We're gonna put a little bit in here. We don't want to put too much. The reason why is my cookie cutters are really thin. You'll see. I'll show them to you. So I'm putting this extra in here. All right. So then I'm just going to push this down to the edges. This is going to be extra ones that are not. There we go. All right. So now this is our part that we're going to spread to make the hearts. So it gets really stiff really fast. So you want to spread it out with this little spatula. And if it seems like it doesn't want to or wants to spread apart too much, just squish it back together. You can also spray a little cooking spray on this spatula that might help, but I found mine works pretty well just doing that. Push it in a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to push this one. And then I'm going to take a quick break and run and put my pan in the sink because we don't want it to get all dried up. We don't want that. Now, you can make as many hearts as you want. I'm just not going to make that many. I'm going to use this little pan and just flatten it out really well. And there you go. You have green ones. Now, and this one is very thin. Very thin. So, actually, I'm going to take a quick break. I have to go let this pan soak. You can do that because you're right in your kitchen. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Had to let that pan soak. When you do this, put yours right in the sink when you're done. That marshmallow stuff is really sticky. So we're on to the fun part. We're going to go ahead and unplug this. So the fun part is moving these things and gonna make a few hearts. I would say we will use, how about we use the littlest one? And you just want to try to fit it in wherever you think you can to use up as much of the flattened. See, can you see? But there it is. I made it a good length because these cookie cutters are not very tall. So then, let's see. I just washed my hands. So there we go. We got one little Grinch heart. And we can put it over here. So this is a real fun recipe, a way to make it fun. And what you can do after you make this recipe, you can help your adult who helped you clean up, and then you can watch the Grinch. Or you can watch this video and watch the story of the Grinch. Put another one out there. And just keep making these little small ones. They're just a good quick bite if you want just a little something sweet. And we just keep laying them out here. Now I think I might have already said this, but does anybody know how many sizes the Grinch heart grew? Yeah, I bet you do know. it grew 3 sizes. So if we think about that, we probably went from here to here to here. So I thought about making all different sizes, but I think the little one is best. And see, if you want a lot of Rice Krispie treat, a big one, you can use your pan and cut out Christmas trees, or just cut it in squares. Now we are going to put a little red heart on there. Did I tell you? Yes. We have some icing. We're just going to put a little bit on there. So now we're going to have a lot of excess. But you know what happens when you have that? All these extras are for the cook to sample. All right, so we have a few, just like that. Now what we're going to do, wipe your hands a little bit, is we have some icing. Now you can use gel icing, or you can use regular cake icing. I'm going to use the cake icing. Now when you open this, it's just a top like this. But you can buy these tips, and I bet your mom probably has these, and you just screw them right on there. And if you don't want to buy all that, I'm just going to use this for something else, so I figured I might as well use it. You can buy smaller containers of gel icing that look about this size, and they're called gel icing. So you can use that too. So let's get this out of the way, and we're just going to add a little heart right in the middle. Do that for each one. They look a little lumpy, but I think it was too hot on my cooktop. If you use medium heat, you should be good. Just remember, you've got to work fast when you get done. You've got to lay it out pretty quickly. So it's easy to draw these hearts. It's sometimes harder to color them in. Also, if you can find some heart-shaped candies, you can use that too. I looked around for some cinnamon hearts, but I couldn't find any, so I gave up and just thought I would do this. So let me bring you and show you the finished product. I'll come right around. There we go. There's the Grinch's heart that grew from this small to that small. It's big, that big. Okay, we're about done with our GrinchMas video. We want you to come in and get a kit. You'll get these little coloring sheets, and my favorite ones where the Grinch's heart grew. So you'll get these, and you'll get the recipe for the Rice Krispie treats, and you'll get to make some ornaments like these. You just glue these together. That's his heart growing 1, 2, 3 sizes. And then this one, you will get a little bulb like this, and you will just stick a feather down in there. And it looks really kind of 3D. And you'll put a small heart on there too. Gotta keep making sure that stays a little bit rounded. And you hang both of these from your tree, and you'll get everything you need to do that in your kit. So come see us. We also have some artwork hanging up, and we know you'd be interested in seeing that. So come see us, and I want to wish everybody a Merry Grinchmas. Thank you and take care. Bye-bye.